I don't wanna wait for a storm that ain't coming, or hide from the sun in the morning. I don't wanna run from something I can't define, but I gotta be careful with what I call mine. I know you too well. I'll climb up on the roof and yell. I've learned all that I know, and we put on quite a show. I'd be lying if I said I'm coming back. I just wanna go, I wanna walk away. Never wanted to love you anyway. Guess I should've known, won't pick up the phone. Go on and watch me fade. When you see the lights faded in the night, know that I'm fine alone. I'll be running for the skyline, sun in my eyes. No music, but I'm dancing. I'll be running, I'll be running by, I'll be running, I'll be running down, I'll be running, I'll be running by, I'll be running, I'll be running for the skyline, sun in my eyes. Skyline, sun in my eyes. Skyline, sun in my eyes. No music, but I'm dancing. I can see the end now, almost in my memory. No more waiting for a sign now. It's time for me to leave. As the world closes on the door of what became to be, I regret nothing. I can set my mind free. I know you.
Appreciate the hearts, guys, in the chat. Thank you very much. I can see them. I can see someone is spamming them. Hello, hello, hello there. How is everyone doing tonight? My name is Phoebe Thomas, and I will be commentating on the Div 2 race here in Divine Eye Racing today. We're heading into round 2 of season 2 here in Division 2. Well, that's quite funny, 222. But yeah, it's going to be on Australia. I have quite a fun track, I do have to say that. One of my favorites, if not my favorite. There's a lot of good overtaking opportunities around Australia, and there's just so many corners where you're going to be having some beautiful racing. So I'm really looking forward to this track and the racing that's usually happening on these kind of tracks. I know there's someone who's having I think it's his home track, Mr. Starry, who's in the chat too, or is he from New Zealand? I'm not 100% sure. I think I got the same question wrong last week. But Starry, are you from Australia or are you from New Zealand, mate? I have no idea. Apparently, there's not going to be rain, but the guys in the chat want rain. Tusky, we've got him in the chat. Welcome, Tusky. How are you doing, mate? Also, Starry, welcome, mate. How are you doing, guys? Looking forward to the race here in Australia. I'm definitely looking forward to it, as we might want to put on the track map and the lap data, of course. Let's have a quick look. Who's going to be out on track first? It seems like that's going to be a Mercedes. It might be a Haas too, who's leading the pack at the moment. Might be Redouts. No, it's not going to be Redouts. It's going to be his teammate, Brass Monks. No, it is going to be Redouts. There we go, Redouts. Out on track first. There we go. Starry is an Aussie. Aussie, not a Kiwi, an Aussie. Where do those names actually come from? Kiwi? Like, why is it Kiwi, you know? And an Aussie... Just say Australian. I don't know. We don't say, oh, we're Bells, you know. We're not Bells. We're Belgians, and you guys say Aussies. I don't know. It's quite cool though. I quite like it. It's just, where does it come from, you know? So Australia, or also well known as the Melbourne Park, the Albert Park. I don't know. It's in Melbourne. I'm sure of that. On the Albert Park, and it's actually a street circuit. So during the day, during a normal day, you know, people are just driving on these kind of roads, and in the weekend, in the Formula One weekend, they have to rebuild the whole park and transform it to an F1 street circuit. And that's where the guys are going to be racing on today here in Divine Eye Racing. Redoubts is going to start his qualifying lap, so we might want to go on board with him. Already invalidates here, so that's not great. That is definitely not great. I don't think he even knows he invalidates. Oh no, he does, because he didn't use a lot of ERS. So we might want to go on board with someone else here. It might be Dennis, as he's entering turn 1 and 2. Very good overtaking opportunity during the first lap, as you can easily dive bomb down the inside and just make your way through. Now we've got turn 3, which is kind of a 90 degrees corner, kind of a slow one into third, then into fourth, back into third, into the fourth corner, and then we've got turn 5 and 6. Very difficult corner section here, as you can easily slide into the wall, as Jay Dennis almost did that there, into turn 7, into turn 8, beautiful corner section, very difficult one to make an overtake on, but then you will have the DRS here down the straight. Well, it's not really a straight, as someone is parking on the racing line. What is happening here? What is happening here? And I've seen this before from Super BAD. He did the same last week. He did the same last week to 2 or 3 people. This is unbelievable. He just parks it on the racing line. This is fucking unbelievable. Super BAD, mate, you seriously got to do something about your racing skills, because he's gonna do it the same to the Haas driver right now. As you can see, he parks it on the racing line. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. He did it the same time last week for 2 or 3 times. Tutsky, I swear to God, do something about this, because he does it the whole time. And he's not even going to go for another one. He's not even going to go for a fast one. Look at that. He's just driving and qualifying, crashing out people. You really need to do something about this. This is just unbelievable. Sorry, I have no words for this. He did the same last week, and now he got another chance of doing this. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Kev Slice puts himself on pole, as Jordan, I think he's a new driver if I'm not mistaken, puts himself in P1 with 118.2. Not too close, well, not too far in front of Mr. Kev the Slice. And we've got AP in P3. There's a couple of guys who have already retired from the session. Are we going to have a restart? I don't think so. Super B. Everyone who's behind him needs to watch out. He's got a Red Bull in front of him. He's not on a fast lap. He parks it on the line again. Let's have a quick look. Is he going to make it difficult for the Red Bull driver again? No idea. Let's go on board with Tonhinga, who's right on the tail of that Mercedes driver. And also the Red Bull driver. Here he comes, Tonhinga. A very good chance of winning this Grand Prix. He was amazing last week. I don't think he got P1 if I'm not mistaken, but here he comes across the finish line. It will definitely be a good pole time. A 117.9 for Tonhinga, 3/10 clear from Mr. Jordan in P2. So might want to go on board with someone else here. Starry, the Aussie. Down the straight. Well, it's not really a straight, but it is what it is. Here he comes into sector 2. Catches a little bit of slipstream from that AlphaTauri driver through that fast left right-hander. And a little bit of curb on the exit. That's usually a very dangerous thing to do. There's a wheel in the middle of the track there. Might have caught Starry off guard. I don't think so. It goes too much onto the curb. You definitely don't want to touch that curb too much, because you can easily, you know, lose some time going onto that curb. Goes a little bit too deep and almost spins, but he recovers. Coming around the last corner, goes Starry. And it definitely won't be a pole time, but it might be a 119 or 120. A 119.7 puts himself in P5. We might want to go on board with Al Shakel. Shakel, I'm saying it right now. Al Shakel. And the Williams driver is heading into the last sector. And in my opinion, the last sector here in Australia is one of the most beautiful ones there is on the F1 calendar. is such a good overtaking opportunity anywhere during any corner. And I don't think that's usually the case in a lot of, third sectors around the track. You've got Canada, which is a very difficult last sector. You've got China, which is kind of a difficult last sector, except for the long straight. But then you've got that fast left-hander, not a good overtaking opportunity. Which other ones do you have? Brazil. I mean, it's usually either a long straight or just no overtaking opportunity at all. But here in Australia, you have a good chance of making an overtake through that last part of the track, and it's an overtake that's happening through the corners, not definitely through the straights. So I mean, I should say down the straights, not through the straights. But I mean, I can give you some other examples. Belgium, also a very good, very difficult overtaking sector. Sector 3 is the one I'm talking about. Which other ones do you have? Spain is a very difficult one. You've got, which other ones are there? Bahrain. Bahrain is kind of a good one. Bahrain is a good one too, I do have to say that. But that's mainly because of the straights. Nico John comes across the line with a 119.4 at the moment. But we've got so many retirements. What's happening here? There's a lot of guys in the pits too. Milo Bello, one of the new guys, I assume, who's in the Ferrari car, is on a night lap. So we might want to go on board with that driver. He's possibly a fast driver, as I can see coming through last sector. He's going pretty fast. Goes onto the throttle pretty soon. So that is always a good sign for the Ferrari driver. Milo Bello just starting his qualifying lap, coming into turn 1 and 2. Goes onto the throttle quite nice here through turn 1. Doesn't go too harsh on the brakes, because usually guys tend to go too hard on the brakes in turn 1 or go too soft on the brakes in turn 1. And you're definitely not gonna nail a lap around Australia when you don't nail the brakes in turn 1. And validates the lap there in turn 6. Goes a little bit too much onto the curb. That is going to be a lap invalidation. So Milo Bello won't be able to put a good qualifying lap on the board. Still 9 more minutes to go in this qualifying session, and they'll have to come into the pits, go on some new rubber, and come out again. Or will he be staying on these sets of tires? He's definitely saving some ERS, so I think he'll go for another one on this set of tires. But the thing is, why is he pushing that much on the tires? Because right now he's pushing, and he's basically degrading his tires even more than he should be. He does have that AlphaTauri and that Red Bull driver behind him, but he can just let them go through and hope for the best, because now he's just emptying his tires while they shouldn't be emptying. Or he's coming into the pits. He's not coming into the pits, so he's going to go for another one. Takes that corner quite tight, as we saw it previous lap too. When he started this qualifying lap, he would have had a 120.0 that will put him in P8. Right in front of his teammates. So let's see if he's going to be able to improve here during this qualifying lap. These tires are a little bit older, so we might be seeing a little bit of a slower time, possibly around a 120.5. Or did he yield during that second and third sector? That is the thing to look at here in Milo Bello. I'm having a sponsor that, I'm having a sponsor, not DER, but I mean, possibly they could sponsor them too. But that's on the side. I'm gonna have a sponsor for King of Leagues, and they basically invest into what like F1 software. And what I will be able to do is put some kind of screen here, watch the software, and hopefully, see what kind of drivers are improving through what sector, and who's really faster than some other drivers, and where they can improve, and how the track evolves and all that kind of stuff. Also possibly weather and all that kind of stuff. So that is definitely something that I'm looking forward to, as Milo Bello is now coming through sector 3. There's a little bit too much curb down the inside there in turn 16, if I'm not mistaken. Turn 15 might possibly be turn 15. Down the straight he comes. It will be a 119, but what will it be? A 119.1 puts himself in a good P6 right in front of Olua Richie. I'm just going to call him Richie because Olua is a little bit too difficult for me. As someone in the back of the grid is on a fast lap, Ali House, as the Red Bull driver. I'm possibly thinking that it has a qualifying ban, but I could be wrong, because I knew there was going to be someone with a qualifying ban, and I need to check that. Let me have a quick look. Nah, I don't think so. Alright, so Ali Howe is on a fast lap at the moment, the Red Bull driver. I might want to take the standings with me. let me take them with me real quick. Let me look at the standings. I'm just trying to get them real quick. Driver standings, here we go. So, it's always very interesting to see what the driver standings are. Last week we had the first Grand Prix in Great Britain, in Silverstone. And Mr. Kev the Slice won that Grand Prix. He had 31 points in total. Don Hinga had 26 points. And Nico John had 23. He came in P3. Jay Dennis in P4. El Shakel in P5. Ange Hamid in P6. Bobo, who's not in the lobby today, unfortunately, came in P7. Then we had Cable Monkey, Starry, and RF, who's not in the lobby either, I think. Possibly they have checked out of the race. The guy at the back was from the ones who have finished. Jesper van Golde, is he there today? It does look like it. The Aston Martin driver currently in P16, retired from the session. And Ali House puts himself on pole. What happened here? Ali House with a 117.7. What a master here in Australia. And I totally missed that, if I'm being honest. What a great lap from the Red Bull driver. And he's got no ERS left. So I don't think he will be able to go out for another lap. Look at that beautiful helmet, though. It's kind of shiny. It was very shiny, in a matter of fact. El Shakel entering a fast lap at the moment. And what will the Williams driver be able to do? He's not up on his time, 7/10 slower, and that is a big difference, because, you know, if you have to make up for 7/10s in Sector 2 and Sector 3, that's just impossible. Starry, 2,000s faster than his previous time, so he's gonna have a good opportunity improving here in Sector 2 and Sector 3, and then his time will be way better. What will the Alfa Romeo driver be doing at the moment here through Sector 2? He is not improving, 1.5 tenths slower than his previous time. Only the third sector is the sector where he will be able to improve, and I think he's gonna go for it. I think, you know, he's draining all of his ERS, doesn't have too much left, and he invalidates. It won't be an improvement for the Alfa Romeo driver. What will Ton Hinga be doing? He's going to go for another one, and he might be my favorite for pole time tonight. The Aston Martin driver, definitely a great driver, one of the best drivers here in Div 2. Oh, he doesn't have any ERS left. Oh, he drained everything down the straight. What? What happened there? Why would he do that? I think he drained all of his ERS last lap, or he invalidated that last corner. Yeah, that could be it. You know, in Sector 3, there's a high chance of invalidating, and then you basically have no ERS going for another lap. That might be it for Tonhinga, but he was, you know, he was very fast in Sector 1. I mean, going into that first corner, it was just... there goes my pole prediction. He's not gonna have enough ERS saved. And nobody else is on track, unless Superior Man is... Oh! No idea what's going on here. Superior Man just parked it. Yo, Janice Denson, how are you doing, buddy? How are you doing? I'm seeing you, unfortunately, crashed out, so... You'll have to start... I mean, got crashed out. I saw what happened, mate. I saw what happened. So, Superior Man... I think he's lagging a little bit. And I think I saw he was from India, but I could be wrong. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, so he's from India, so that might cause some troubles. But I've seen many Indian drivers, and I've seen them showing some great internet connections, so I'm not sure whether Superior Man is going to show the same. 2 more minutes, so we will be seeing the guys coming out of the pits as soon as possible. And I don't think they will be doing... Oh, invalidation for Superior Man. It won't be a good qualifying lap for him. Is he draining all of the ERS? Doesn't look like it, so he'll save some ERS. And look at that, everyone is coming out on an out lap, so... If I had the telemetry, it would be nice to see who is going to improve during this lap. But now it doesn't look like I will be able to. Kevin Slice dropped down to P4, so we might be seeing a good qualifying lap from him this time around. He's on one at the moment, currently entering Sector 3. Will it be an improvement for Kev the Slice? Yes, indeed it is. 33 thousandths. Oh, and he goes onto the curb and he goes into the gravel. Will not be an invalidation, but he won't be improving, unfortunately. He's got that Williams driver behind him, El Shakel. Yes, Shakel has to watch out for that McLaren driver down the inside. It was a little bit dangerous. I mean, not really dangerous, but he's really parked in a weird spot. All the guys behind him are not on a fast lap, so I'm not sure why he's going this slow through this part of the track. Does he have enough fuel saved? I'm not sure, actually. The Red Bull driver, the Williams driver, the AlphaTauri driver are all going pretty slow. So I'm not sure what's happening there in Sector 3. They want to abuse that kind of heat on the track, because the longer they go... Oh, there comes the Red Bull driver. I think that it must be Ali House. McLaren driver lets him go past. And Ali House might be the one going for the fastest lap. He's already on pole. We've got Tonhinga riding on his tail, a 117.8, and Ali House has a 117.7. So there's only a 110 difference between the both of them. But Ali House might be able to improve here. The track has evolved. The track has become faster, and Ali House in the previous track conditions was the fastest, so he might be the fastest during these track conditions as well. I guess we will be able to see when he enters Sector 2 and enters Sector 3. But Ali House definitely one of the faster guys here, up by a half a tenth already in Sector 1 alone. And will he be improving here in Sector 2? Definitely, I'd say so, because look at the line he's taken. Really abusing those track limits, really taking tight corners through the fast straight. I mean, it's not really a straight, but you get what I mean. Up by 1.5 tenths. A great lap by the Red Bull driver already. And only Sector 3 can be his enemy for now, because he slayed at Sector 1 and Sector 2 already. And I think it will be an improvement for the Red Bull driver. And then we immediately have to switch to Tonhinga. Touches the curb beautifully there on the exit. What will Tonhinga be doing? Ali House will be improving if he doesn't slide into the wall here, coming through that corner, because that's what we will be seeing during the race. Coming down the line goes Ali House with a 117.4. Tonhinga just enters Sector 3. He's not up on his time, so I think this will be a pole time for Ali House, the Red Bull driver. He didn't race last week, if I'm not mistaken, and will Tonhinga be putting any show up against the Red Bull driver? Doesn't look like it. He's just going to come across the line and not improve on his time. I think so. Wait. Oh, he improves. Puts himself in P2 right behind Ali House. He was not up on his time in Sector 2. But apparently, going into Sector 3, he just found the pace. And he just managed to get so much time back, which he lost, and it's crazy. He was actually 2 tenths slower, I think, entering Sector 3, and then at the end of Sector 3 he's 3 tenths up, so that means he improved by about 5 tenths during that last sector. So maybe as a racing driver you might want to think, you know, I could have been better in Sector 1 and Sector 2, and then I would have gotten pole. But that's definitely not something you should bring, well, those thoughts should bring to the race, because you're just gonna make mistakes thinking of those thoughts. But Tonhinga puts himself in P2 right behind Ali House. The Red Bull driver puts himself on pole for tonight. But is that the right way to go? Usually... Oh, no, I was going to say my camera is frozen, but it isn't. I'm just going to delete my camera here real quick, guys. So there we go. The Red Bull driver puts himself on pole. I'm just going to have a quick look. I think P1 starts from the left front, so you will not have the inside line. Tonhinga will have the inside line, if I'm not mistaken. Then we've got El Shakel in P3. Shakel, my apologies, Shakel. Cal, whatever. Jordan puts himself on 4, and Kev the Slice puts himself on 5. Starry in P6, good result there from the Australian. Then we've got Richie, Nico, Milo Bello, Ishi, AP. Oh, we have to go to the back. Sorry, guys. Well, AP, Oranje Bone, Brass Monkey, Superior Monkey, Super AB, Cable Monkey, and then some other guys. Sorry if I didn't mention you. My sincere apologies. But you are definitely... Well, how do you say that? Last but not least? I think that's the right saying. I'm just going to drink some water. I'm not sure if we have a formation lap. I don't think we have, actually. Although, I think we do. I think the safety car problems have been solved, so... Oh, and Starry, by the way, I just read your message. Thank you very much for letting me... thanks for letting me know that why you call them the Kiwi. So apparently Kiwi is, the Kiwi bird is the national animal of New Zealand. So that's why they call them the Kiwis. Proper explanation, I do have to say that. I'm just gonna check my Discord if we can get any messages. No, but it's all my fault. No, not ready up. Blah, shut the fuck up. Ooh, there is some Jews in the chat. Uh-oh. Oh! And someone pressed the button without being able to press the button. I mean, without being allowed to press the button. So some might not have the right setup. But that doesn't matter too much. We will be looking at the tires. So soft tires for El Shakel, who is in P3, magically. Did he start in P3 before? Wasn't it Jordan? Wait, I could be totally wrong though. I have no idea. Well, Ali House and Tonhinga both starting on the medium, so they're probably going to go on to the softs at the end of the race. El Shakel on the softs. We've got 3 drivers on the mediums, 1 driver on the softs, and then mostly at the back we've got soft tire runners, except for Cable Monkey, who is going on to the hard tires. So he will be starting on the hard tires. Ange Hamid and Jay Dennis board starting on the mediums. And then we've got Superior Man in P14 starting on the mediums. So I definitely want to take a look at Super AD during that race start, but I'm not sure if I should do that, because I'm gonna miss the action at the front. But I definitely want to look at Super AD and see what he's gonna do in turn 1, but I'll just focus on the front of the grid. Tire strategy wise, I think El Shakel might be up for a good shot here, because he will be able to create some kind of gap to the guys in front of him. Well, currently in front of him. But he will definitely be able to overtake them with a good race start, possibly in turn 1, with a little bit of ERS usage. Just drain all of your ERS, trying to make the overtake into turn 1, and then just shoot off in sector 2 and sector 3. It will be difficult, I do have to say that. I think it will be difficult keeping Ali House and Tonhinga behind you. Kev the Slice is also a very difficult one to race with, because he is very fast. He's got the pace to overtake you and just leave you behind. So even El Shakel being on those soft tires is not safe at all. We've also got Richie on the softs in P7, so he can definitely gain some time and gain some positions. Brass Monkeys and his teammate Redoubts both starting in P13 and P18, both on the soft tires too. It seems like Tonhinga got disqualified, so that will be another good opportunity for El Shakel here. Another couple of guys disqualifying from the session. Well, from the formation lap. Itchy in P10 and Oranje Bone Brown in P12. Also Brass Monkeys disqualified from the session. And the guys at the back are just putting themselves on the grid at the moment. We're currently here in Divine Eye Racing Season 2, Round 2 of the Australian Grand Prix with the Division 2. We've got 5 red lights here in Melbourne Park. And away we go. Very early start there by the lights on top of the racing track. We've got a good start from the Red Bull driver. It seems like El Shakel is already trying to make the move on Tonhinga, but he didn't have the room. Starry up in P5. There's an incident between Starry and I think it was someone else. Starry drops back all the way to P20. And not a great way to start your race, well, your home Grand Prix. As I think Kev the Slice had an incident with the Alfa Romeo driver at the back of the grid. They're also having a heated battle with each other. There's some kind of gap forming between Richie and Jordan at the moment. Both the Williams driver having a pretty good start, I do have to say that. Let's focus on the guys here at the back. AP in P9, right on the tail of the Ferrari driver. Kev the Slice seems to make the overtake on the Alfa Romeo driver. Now he's going to try and make the overtake on his teammate. I think his teammate is letting him go through. Kev the Slice tried to go around the outside. Now has the inside line. What will Oranje Bone Brown be doing? He's letting him go through. And now Oranje Bone Brown's task is to keep Cable Monkeys behind him for as long as possible. Let's go back to Jordan, who's on the tail of El Shakel. Here he comes. The Alpine driver doing a great job. Didn't really gain a position, but he shouldn't well, there was no possibility because Al Shakal in front of him had those soft tires, so it was very difficult to make the overtake. But what I'm surprised of is that Al Shakal did not make the overtake on Tonhinga while he's on the faster tire, while Tonhinga had a disqualification from the formation lap. So that's definitely something to look at going further into the season, that Tonhinga, well, that Al Shakal usually does not have great race starts. Jordan almost loses the car there, so you might want to focus on the back of the grid here. Oranje Boom Brown, I think he's losing the toe of AB a little bit here. Jesper coming into the pits, Super AB currently in P19, and Ange Hamid gaining a couple of positions. I think a Haas driver and a Alfa Romeo driver had an incident here in Sector 1. Let's go back to the front of the grid. Tonhinga on the tail. Oh, and a little crash there. I think that might have been Al Shakal going into the back of Tonhinga. And Tonhinga had a little bit of a snap coming through Sector 2 there. And I think he's glitching a little bit. He's glitching a little bit. Al Shakal right the outside. Don't go 3 wide though. Tonhinga leaves enough space for Al Shakal, but barely. Goes into the wall. Al Shakal is getting attacked from behind again. Tonhinga, is he going to throw it down the inside? He's not going to go for it. He backs out of it. And Jordan almost going into the back of the Uruguayan driver. As I think Jordan needs to get past Tonhinga as soon as possible, because Tonhinga is lagging a little bit. So the more he's going to be stuck behind Tonhinga, the more time he will lose to the top 2. And it seems like Oluwa Richie and Nico John are catching up to this little group of 4 people. And Tonhinga on the tail of Al Shakal. I don't think he's going to be able to make that move. DRS has been enabled, so they will have DRS coming through that fast right left-hander in Sector 2. It's actually a very short Sector 2. I just noticed that. Jay Dennis has gained a lot of positions already. Up, down the inside of Cable Monkeys. Cable Monkeys leaves enough space for Jay Dennis, and I think Jay Dennis will be able, with good traction, to make the overtake on the Haas driver, on the Alfa Romeo driver. Yes, indeed, he will. I was going to say hard tire runner, but Haas came out of it. I don't know why. So Dennis gaining 8 positions. Beautifully done by the Mercedes driver. It doesn't look like Al Shakal is going to have the DRS. He's 1.3 seconds behind Ali Haas at the moment. And Cable Monkeys trying to make the overtake again around the outside with the use of DRS. Beautiful move by Cable Monkey. And it's a medium tire runner versus a hard tire runner. And the hard tire runner is running away at the moment. Tonhinga retaken. Oh, and there has been an incident. Al Shakal in the wall. Does he have a broken front wing? Doesn't look like it. Might have been an incident with Tonhinga. As Tonhinga is currently getting attacked from behind by Al Shakal's teammate. Here we go, Richie trying to make the overtake down the inside, but there was no room. Well, there was room, but I don't think he had the traction to make the overtake. DRS wide open for Richie. He won't be able to make that overtake. Nico John gained 3 positions already on the medium tires, so that's a good strategy. I feel like the guys on the mediums have definitely chosen the right strategy at the moment. Al Shakal trying to make the overtake on Nico John. Almost goes into the side of the wall there. And Milo Bello has caught up to these guys. Yellow flag in Sector 1 and 3. That is going to be the Mercedes driver, Super BAD, at the back of the grid. Possibly had an incident with Jesper van Golde. Jesper van Golde, who's 11 seconds behind Redives at the moment. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to gain some positions here. But let's focus on some other guys here on track. Someone had a 3-second time penalty already. That's the Alpine driver in Sector 2. So a very big penalty. Here comes Richie. No, it's Al Shakal trying to go down the inside of Nico John. But he kind of not went for it. He was not alongside the AlphaTauri driver. And now Richie with the use of DRS. The guys have the DRS there. Al Shakal was looking to make a move down the inside, but unfortunately did not make it work. Some beautiful scenery we've got here. And I really hope in 2024, well, the game 2024, that we will be able to see some more and decide for ourselves what kind of view we want. Here comes Al Shakal on the tail of Nico John. And if he has some slipstream and some more straight line speed, he will be able to make that overtake. And he's going to go for it. Al Shakal down the inside of the AlphaTauri driver. Beautiful move by the Williams driver. And that is going to be move done. Tonhinga on the tail. And he loses a front wing. What happened there with Tonhinga? Did he lose his car? He's now on the racing line. And he's not letting Al Shakal pass. Al Shakal going around the outside. Tonhinga not leaving too much space for Al Shakal. And he's parking it on the racing line at the moment. Once again, Nico John trying to get past Tonhinga. but it doesn't look like an easy job for the AlphaTauri at the moment. Milo Bello right behind Nico John. We've got a 3-second time penalty from Itchy, who's currently in P11, lost 1 position. And here comes Nico John. We've got a beautiful POV from Milo Bello at the moment. Nico John goes down the inside. It doesn't look like he wants to make that overtake, but he's going to go for it anyway. Tonhinga, having the outside line, has to watch out because he's got a broken front wing, and all these guys behind him are taking the benefit from him. Kev the Slice dropped 2 positions. Tonhinga dropped 6 positions already. Here comes Kev the Slice down the inside of the Ferrari driver. Beautiful move by, I think he's English, but I could be wrong. And let's go back to the front of the grid. Olua Richie right behind Jordan. I think Richie is Turkish, but I could be wrong. I saw his flag earlier. Tonhinga coming into the pits, obviously, as he has a broken front wing. And let's go on board with the tires real quick. Richie and El Shakel both being on soft tires. Both the Williams drivers will be scoring some great points for the team. So I'm definitely seeing Williams bump up some positions in the constructor standings. And it seems like Jordan had a little bit of a snap there. Is that the time of the mediums already? The time of the mediums have come. That wouldn't make too much sense as the soft tire runners haven't come into the pits yet. So that might be a... I'm not sure. I can't explain that, actually. Oranje Brown on the tail of Jesper van Golde. And Jesper, who's gone onto the soft tires. I think Oranje Brown has gone onto the hards to try and finish off this race on those tires. The middle of the field, we're looking at a very close gap between Milo and Nico John. Kev the Slice has taken P5. I think Richie crashed. And he did indeed crash. No, it's Jordan. We saw him struggle earlier. The Alpine driver in the wall. And does he have a broken front wing? I can't look at it this way. It doesn't look like he's any visual damage. But possibly he's got, a broken rear wing, possibly? If he's sliding all over the place, that might be signs of a broken rear wing. Usually you're sliding all over the place when you have a broken rear wing. And is he coming into the pits? It does look like it. Is anyone else coming into the pits? Not sure. Virtual safety car, will he be retiring from the session? Usually that's a good indication that he had a broken rear wing, or at least damage to his rear wing. Ange Hamid also coming into the pits, so is Superior, man. But these guys will possibly be going onto the hard tires. And I just need to check something real quick. I might be missing the start of this race, so we will be going back to this group. But I just need to make sure that my door is closed from my other room. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I made it in time. Sorry guys. So we still have a virtual safety car, but it does look like we've got a very, very, very big group here. Might be some guys who have been lapped already. And are we racing already? Oranje Brown retired from the session in the pit lane, as Jesper is coming into the pit lane too, going onto the hard tires. Very interesting things happening here during the virtual safety car. Some guys coming into the pits, some guys don't come into the pits. AP has a 3-second time penalty, and we are racing again. It's green flags and go, go, go. It seems like Richie Starry with a drive-through penalty, and it looked like his race couldn't get any worse, but it does get worse with the minute. Jordan crashed once again. I think he really does have a broken front wing, doesn't he? Oh, and he's stuck. Oh no, he's making room for the guys who want to get past, and he's gonna get a... No, he's not gonna get disqualified. Very unfortunate for Jordan. I think he has a broken rear wing, but he might want to finish the race anyway. He's got an Alfa Romeo right behind him. That's gonna be Starry. He's got to come into the pits too. And let's go back to the front of the grid. El Shakel. Oh, and there goes Jordan again. El Shakel has caught up to his teammate, both the drivers on the soft tires. When will he be coming into the pits? That is a very good question. Because here's the thing. Being on the soft tires around Australia, your tires are going to degrade hard. But I don't think that the pace difference is too heavy. Because you don't have too many, corners where you need a lot of Ah, there goes Jordan in the pit lane. Very unfortunate, Jordan. You did have a great race, buddy, but if you have a broken front wing, broken rear wing, there's nothing you can do. It's basically not fun. You're gonna spin through every corner. That's just unfortunate. El Shakel, as I was saying, on the soft tires, he is possibly coming into the pits around lap 12 or 13, and then go onto the medium tires if they last that long, though. Because the soft tires, as I said, they degrade very fast, but they don't really lose too much pace. Here comes El Shakel down the inside of his teammate. Doesn't look like his teammate is leaving too much room for Richie, for El Shakel. And there comes the, who was that? Alpine driver. That is going to be Jordan's car. Unfortunately, is going to retire on track. Well, Jordan isn't going to retire on track, but the game is going to retire on track. And we've got a little group here of 3 people trying to close down the gap to El Shakel and his teammate, as it's Kevin Slice. Kev Slice, he's very, very fast. Dennis now with the fastest lap of 121.1, as he's made up a couple of positions already. Has gone onto the soft tires, 3-lap-old softs. As I'm just gonna check out the chat here. Yeah, that's a shame. It's undrivable with the broken rear wing. Yeah, I do understand that, mate. It was quite fun. You had a great race, mate. Unfortunately, you know, there's nothing you can do with a broken rear wing, and you just have to accept the fact that you have a broken rear wing and just come into the pits, because there's no point in racing. It looks like Cable Monkey lost the car there in Sector 1, and he retired from the session on track. That's not really allowed, I think. I'm not sure. I don't think it is allowed, is it? Dusky in the chat, you should be able to give me some more information on that. It doesn't look like we're gonna have a safety car due to that retirement on track. Richie is coming into the pits. Those 8-lap-old softs, it looks like they are already out of their lives. But I mean, 8 laps. What strategy will he be going for then? He's coming into the pits. He's gone on to the hard tires. So soft hards might work, actually. I do have to say that might work around Australia. That is a good strategy. He's gained so many positions off that, and he only finished. He's only come out of the pits in P7, so he doesn't really lose too much. So, are you allowed to retire on track, Tutski? No worries, Tutski. Don't worry. Are you allowed to retire on track or no? Oh, and the Mercedes driver in the grid, well, in the gravel. And he's parking it on the curb, and he's leaving enough space for the guys to get past. Not sure what he's doing at the moment. Super BAD. Yeah, he's letting everyone go through now, but... Okay, so you're not allowed to retire on track. Okay, that makes sense. So Kev the Slice has caught up to El Shakel. Nico John couldn't keep his pace, so we've got a little group of El Shakel and Kev the Slice, and we've got a little group of Nico John and Milo Bello. But maybe if Milo Bello and Milo Bello and Nico John work together, they might be able to close down that gap to Kev the Slice and El Shakel if they manage to battle with each other. El Shakel will come into the pits pretty soon, so he will be going on possibly the mediums or possibly the hards. We're heading into lap 11 out of the 29, so still more than half the race to cover tonight. Richie has dropped back to P8. I think he's been overtaken by Tonhinga, who's on 5-lap-old mediums. And it kind of surprises me that those mediums are still faster than the hard tires at the moment. Itchy with a 3-second time penalty. So you might want to cover the penalties real quick. 3 seconds for AP, 6 seconds for Superior Man. We've got 6 seconds for Itchy. Redives with 12 seconds. And Jesper retired in the pit lane. No, he didn't retire in the pit lane. He crashed as we've got a safety car. And this is the ideal situation for El Shakel. The ideal situation for El Shakel, who's on the soft tires. And unfortunately, Oluwa Richie already came into the pits to go onto the hard tires. But the guys on the soft tires, they will be going onto the hard tires. But what tire will the medium tires be going on? Because I think they were hoping for a medium soft strategy, as that might be the right way to go. And I don't think they will be able to, succeed in that at the moment. Because if you go onto the softs at the moment, you will be on 18-lap-old softs. That's not doable around Australia. It's just a fact. The tires are still fast at the end of their lives, but you're just gonna have such a big chance of a puncture. 18 laps, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do 18 laps on the soft tires in any league. Here comes Olawi Richie, who makes the overtake on Tonhinga. That's not really allowed. I think he hoped that Tonhinga was going to be a little faster. Olawi Richie, who's obviously already came to the pit, so he wants to grab as many positions as possible, and I don't think he will be able to. He's just going to make the overtake on AP and Tonhinga. He will be behind Milo, he will be behind Nico, he will be behind Kev the Slice. So he lost a couple of positions due to that. And he's even got slower tires at the moment. I mean, not slower tires, but older tires. 2-lap old hards. Milo Bello is on fresh tires. So is Nico John. So is Kev the Slice. Yo, 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 Steps. Oh, it's the Steps. How are you doing, mate? I'm doing fine myself. Well, I'm commentating, so I'm having fun. I'm having fun watching the race, watching everything. So I think this is my 250th race, if I'm not mistaken. I need to calculate it. I need to keep track of it. I don't know. So a lot of guys came into the pits already. El Shakel surprisingly went onto the medium tires. I'm not sure if he'll be able to... Oh no. Oh no, okay. So here's the scenario, okay? So he's going onto the medium tires. He will be on those medium tires for 17 laps, which is doable, but your tires will be way slower at the end of the grid. So let's say he makes the overtake on Ali House. Ali House sticks within the toe of El Shakel, and he's gonna have the DRS and he's gonna have everything. Basically, El Shakel has 2 laps to create a 1-second gap and to have Kev the Slice battle with Ali House. So he's on the mediums, he needs to create a gap, and then at the end of the race, he's just gonna lose time to the hard tire runners. And that's not really what you want to have. What you want to have is be on the same tires and possibly make the overtake in the last lap, as you're gonna have the same tires, you're gonna be having the same fighting power and whatever you want to call it, the same pace possibly tire wise. I'm not saying race wise, because you could have different experiences. You could be more advanced in late race situations. Some guys are faster during the beginning of the race, some guys are faster at the end of the race, due to, for example, them being able to manage the older tires better. I'm not sure, a little bit of a Checo Perez kind of action there, but I mean, I guess we'll have to see. Will El Shakel be proving us wrong? We'll definitely be covering that with you guys. We're heading into lap 14 out of the 29. We're halfway past the race. So I'm just gonna have a quick check in the Discord, in the chat. Why is that always I join any F1 live stream when the safety car is up? The Steps. I'm not sure. Maybe you bring the safety car to the live stream, you know. You've got some magical powers. I'm just gonna read the chat here real quick in the Discord. Nothing has been said. So it should be all good. Oh, Cable Monkey has left the session. That's quite late though. He retired on track a couple of laps ago. Starry right now with a 3-second time penalty. And it's always so sour getting a 3-second time penalty when you're in the pit lane. Oh, like when you're in the safety car formation. I mean, whatever you want to call it. In the safety car. It's just such a shame. It's unnecessary. Let's say it like that. So, Starry didn't catch up. And our safety car is already coming to the pits. So, maybe Starry should have pushed a little bit more. But I guess that is what it is. It says that El Shakel... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, what is that Mercedes doing there? Oh, what is that Mercedes doing there? Who is that Mercedes? Oh, no. Uh-oh. I'm not saying anything, guys, but Super B is currently in P16, while he's currently in P2, right behind the safety car. Oh, and he's letting everyone go through. Oh, that's lovely to see. Thank you very much, Super B. Oh, and now Ali House is already going. Oh, look at that, guys. But will everyone be getting... Wait, the safety car is coming out again? No, the safety car is not coming out again. Wait, do we have yellow flags or green flags? We've got green flags, right? Okay, perfect. Yellow flag in sector... Wait. I'm confused. Alright, doesn't matter. El Shakel is 2 seconds behind. We've got Superior Man making the overtake on Ange Hamid. Ange Hamid tried to go around the outside. Has the inside line. Is going to go back around the outside. And he's not going to go for it, unfortunately. But we want to go back to the front of the grid as Kev Slice is on the tail of Al Shakel. These medium tires of Al Shakel haven't really been beneficial yet, but he might be able to close down that 2-second gap again to Ali House. Let's go on board with Milo here. This is not Milo, this is Milo. We will not have the DRS yet. The guys will only be having DRS after 2 laps behind the safety car. Jay Dennis on the tail of Brass Monkeys here. Jay Dennis dropped a couple of positions. I'm not sure what happened there. I think he came into the pits a little bit too early already when that safety car was not out on track yet. So he's definitely lost a couple of positions due to that. Brass Monkeys is cleanly keeping Jay Dennis behind him. And Brass Monkeys already drained all of his ERS during this lap. We're only 1 lap after the safety car, and he's already got no ERS left. Maybe that should be something you should think about as a racing driver and try to train on it. Oh, and we've got Jay Dennis crashing out the Haas driver. And Ishii is trying to find his way around him. No, that's Tari who's catch up again. Onto the curb he goes. And I think it's Ishii losing 2 positions now. Jay Dennis in P13. As he's trying to go around the outside of Brass Monkeys. Here comes Ishii. Oh, and Brass Monkeys gets crashed out. Possibly by Jay Dennis. I'm not going to say any statements yet. Yeah, Jay Dennis has very bad karma. Oh, there comes... Oh, no. Oh, no. What a race. What a race. Zen. This is even worse karma. Tutsuki. He's just got straight lined by Ishii. What happened there, mate? Oh, holy smokes. Well, Brass Monkeys is now on the tail of Ishii. He's got no broken front wing. Oh, now he does. Oh, what's happening here, guys? I should focus on the front because I don't know what's happening here. Virtual safety car. The guys will come into the pits and we just have to reflect on what happened because I'm not sure what happened. I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh, man. So basically, I don't know what happened. I think Jay Dennis made an aggressive move on Brass Monkeys. Then Ishii kind of wanted some revenge, so he straight lined Jay Dennis. But then Ishii had a broken front wing. Jay Dennis is just racing freely at the moment. And then Brass Monkeys going into Sector 3, he just goes into the wall and loses his whole front wing. Richie is now coming into the pits, possibly goes onto the medium tires. Tutsuki in the chat. I'm trying to comprehend what is happening here. I have no idea, mate. So 5-second time penalty for Ishii for speeding in the pit lane. And we've got green flags and go again. So Kev the Slice has caught up to El Shakel. Once again, we've seen that in the past. But I can tell you right now that Ali House might be possibly our clear winner at the moment. Although El Shakel is catching up to the Red Bull driver, I'm not too sure how strong these medium tires are going to be at the end of their strength. But that virtual safety car is definitely going to be beneficial for the Williams driver. As usually, you know, when you've got a virtual safety car, you don't have to push your tires to their limits. And your tires are going to be saved a little bit more. Kev the Slice goes onto the grass a little bit too much. Shot through the corner a little bit there as we've got yellow flags in Sector 1. That is going to be Super BAD. By the way, Tutsuki, I'm going to say something about Super BAD. I really don't think he did that on purpose. I think he's just not a really fast driver. Because last week he was 2 laps down. Now he's 1 lap behind these guys too. And I mean, he's not making any troubles during the race. I think he's just a little bit awkward during the qualifying. Not sure what to do. That kind of something, if that makes sense, because here he's letting everyone go through. He wasn't the safety car the safety car was going to come in. He was in the middle of the field, well, actually in P2, and another safety car who crashed out this time around. Possibly someone at the back of the grid here. No. Who caused the safety car? I don't know. Ah, man, nobody has a broken front wing, so what happened? No idea. But let's go back to my explanation. So I don't think Super B is like a bad person. I think he's just a little bit of a bad driver. I think he's just awkward during qualifying laps. Not sure what he has to do. Because it's not like he qualifies last place either. I think he qualified in P16 or P17. And during the safety car, he's letting everyone go through, even going onto the grass, letting everyone go through. So that's great sportsmanship. Just that qualifying incident, and he had a couple of last time around too. I'm just gonna have a quick look in the chat. I agree with you, mate. He's such a nice guy, just inexperienced and unaware of his surroundings. He probably needs some more time to improve himself. I agree with that. Super AB now gets a 5-second time penalty. But yeah, I mean, I know, I'm not sure where you found Super AD or where... Oh, everyone is coming to the pits to go onto the soft tires. Ali Ha is going onto the medium tires. Bold strategy here, as he doesn't... well, he's going to be faster at the end of the race. So that is lovely to see. Tonhinga stays out. Oh, imagine if Tonhinga still gets the race win. That would be mental. But I'm not sure where you find him. I'm not sure if he was the one finding the leak. But I would say, looking at what he's doing at the moment, I'm not saying anything bad about Super B, by the way. Super B, I'm sure you're a lovely guy. But what I'm looking at right now is this might be your first leak. You're not sure what to do during some situations. It's alright, mate. If you want some courses or on racing or whatever, I don't know, you can always DM me, mate. I've been a racing driver myself long time ago. I'm not fast anymore. I used to be very fast. I used to be top 1000 in like every time trial. Not that it's fast, but it's pretty fast. I mean, I was top on Spain. I think I was top 1%. So 1,000, 100,000. Yeah, that makes sense. But I used to be very uncomfortable with certain situations too. And I kind of stepped away from it, not being uncomfortable, not being scared when anyone approached during a qualifying session. Just go to the side, just drive as slow as you can, and trying to create a gap behind you. That's the most important thing you want to do. Just park it on the side, drive as slow as you can, 2 or 3 kilometers an hour. Just let everyone go through until you have a whole sector for yourself. So for example, if you're heading into sector 3, right? So if you're heading into sector 3, you want to have the whole sector 2 for you, and also a little bit of sector 3. That's basically what you want. And as a new racing driver, you usually want to go out on track when there's not too much traffic. One, everyone is going to make room for you when they go out on an outlap. And 2, you're not going to be too awkward when you're on an outlap. When you're in an outlap yourself, because you're not gonna have to leave too much room for everyone else, as there is no one on track. And when you go in a fast lap, everyone that is experienced already will leave enough space for you. You just need to choose the right lines. But that's another issue. That's another, you know, lesson. I don't know if I should call it that. But if you guys need any tips, you can always DM me, VB Thomas on Discord, and I will help you wherever I can. You know, it's what I do. It's what I do. So everyone has come into the pits except for Ange Hamid, Tonhinga. Tonhinga is on 7-lap-old hards. We've got Ange Hamid on 7-lap-old medium, so that's pretty good too. I mean, not pretty good. I mean, it is something, you know. He's not going to be able to extend those mediums till the end of the race. I mean, he probably will, but he will be slow as fuck. AP being on the 7-lap-old hards too. He's got a penalty, so that's definitely... Sorry guys, that's definitely not something you want to look at. Ishii all the way at the back of the grid. He kind of straight lined Mr. Jay Dennis. Jay Dennis got another couple of positions here, as it seems like the safety car is coming into the pits this time. Sorry. Has caught up, and I'm really wondering where Super B is at this time during the race. He's in the middle of the pack. Yeah, very unfortunate, mate. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's go back to the front of the grid. This time around, Tonhinga is going to start the safety car restart, and he's going to keep the same pace through sector 3. And when will he be going? And not when the Red Bull driver has gone. And now he will go around the last corner. Oh, look at that. Ali Haas got caught sleeping, and Al Shakal is right on his tail. Ali Haas is also running those medium tires. And El Shakel might want to go for it already. Yellow flag already inside. Oh, and El Shakel goes onto the grass. Is Kev the Slice going to try and make the overtake? It does look like it. Around the outside he goes. Here comes Kev the Slice. Not too much room by the Williams driver. Went back onto the racing line when Kev the Slice was right behind him. So that's not the way to go for the Williams driver. I do have to say that. El Shakel trying to defend this position, but I don't think he will be able to get a P1 if he's gonna battle Kev the Slice too much. He just needs to wait and, you know. Oh, here comes Ali House on the tail of Tonhinga. Already made the overtake on those medium tires. Tonhinga is nothing. Has nothing to go up against. I mean, he's got a lot to go up against, but he doesn't have anything that helps him go up against Ali House at the moment. Kev the Slice on the tail of the Williams driver. And Kev the Slice has just had such a good comeback race. I think it was somewhere in the midfield. Nico Chanu crashed. Oh, another safety car. Oh, this is something that I remember from Australia. It's been so long since I've had a race on Australia. And we just have so many safety cars. It's always the case. I think I might want to do this track for King of Leagues, if I'm being honest. It's such a lovely racing track. Did we already have a track? Did we already have this one? No, we didn't. We had Qatar, we had Belgium, we had Brazil, we had Silverstone, we had Las Vegas, we had... No, again, Bahrain. No, Brazil. Oh, yeah. And then now we have Japan, so... Oh, give the Slice. Watch out, mate. What are you doing there? I'm just going to read the chat here real quick. I mean, we all started once with league racing and made many mistakes in the beginning. DER wants to provide for new drivers too. You only learn when making mistakes. We will evaluate the incident and see what went wrong. Appreciate you want to help the guy, Thomas. Ah, no worries, mate. No worries. I'm not gonna be the dick that is gonna be like, oh, you're a bad guy, ban out of the league. Blah. There's the door. Wait, I'm trying to think of a rhyme. Door. What rhymes with door? Door, snore. What rhymes with door? Drawer. Drawer? No, that's not a rhyme. You open up the drawer. There is the door. No. That's awful, guys. Oh my days. I'm never rapping anymore. I would be the worst rapper ever. Oh my days. No, I'm not doing that anymore. Sorry. On the tail of Jay Dennis. Open up the drawer. There's... no. Oranje Boom, how are you doing? For gore? Is that even a word? I don't think that's a word, Oranje. Is it a word, though? Open up the drawer. There's the door. Secure. Does that rhyme with door, though? I'm not sure. This is just the reason why I never became a professional rapper, you know? It's VB Thomas. Lil Thomas. Little VB. Bang bang. No, I do have a safety car song, and I've not sing that for a long time already, and I will give you guys the honor of listening to my safety car song again. I don't think I remember how it went. Safety car, it is a safety car situation. Safety car, it is a safety car situation. Everyone is driving on a straight line. Except for when you're going through the corner. Safety car situation here in DEER. Oh yeah, I still have the grooves and the smooths and everything. I'm just gonna read the chat real quick. Smack you to the floor. Yeah. Super B. I smack you to the floor. There is a door. Oh, I was gonna say you fucking whore, but that's probably not something I should say on stream. I never said anything. Cut that out. I'm gonna trim that from the video. All right. Oops. Yeah. Open the drawer. So much to explore. Yo, Jordan. Yo, we've got our little rapper in the chat. Lil Jordan. Lil rapper. All right. I think the safety car is coming into the pits again. We had so much fun during the safety car. Most fun safety car ever. We've got the loves in the chat. I love you guys too. A lot of penalties too, and it doesn't look like anyone came into the pits. I'm just gonna look at the penalties here. 12 seconds for Jay Dennis, who is caught up to P6. We want you to rep each race, mate. No, that's not gonna happen. Give love for that. Oh, thanks, appreciate it, Tusky. I'm not gonna do that anymore, though. That was horrendous. Okay, just gonna take a quick sip of water. No, my water is gone. No, it's not gone. Here it is. All right, we're heading into possibly the last safety car of the race. We had 3 already. Are we gonna go for a 4th one? I don't think so. 12 seconds for Jay Dennis in P6, 12 seconds for Starry in P7, and another couple of guys with some penalties. But Ali House is gonna start the safety car again. Let's have a look at the tires, and he's gonna go again a little bit earlier than anyone would have expected. El Shakel once again got caught sleeping. And also Tonhinga on those hard tires is struggling to keep the pace of the Red Bull driver. And I really feel, looking at how Ali House has started his Grand Prix, started the safety car, he's just got so much knowledge on how to start safety cars. Goes off the racing line to not give Tonhinga any slipstream. And it's just such a beautiful racing experience from Ali House, as we just saw Jay Dennis making the overtake down the inside of the Red Bull driver. And as things are looking like right now, Milo Bello is definitely looking great, as the guys in front of him all have penalties. And AP just went off track a little bit. Is he going to let the Alfa Romeo driver go through? It does look like it. AP leaving some space. And is Milo Bello going to have an incident with Starry there? And here comes Milo Bello. Lets the Red Bull driver go past again. We want to go back to the front of Al Shakal here, as he's running those fresh, soft tires. He's right on the tail of Tonhinga. Goes on the curb quite nicely, but Tonhinga still has a lot of pace on those hard tires. What is Brass Monkeys going to do? He's going to go onto the grass. That's not something we would love to see. But if you need to avoid an incident, you need to avoid an incident. Here comes Richie down the inside of Brass Monkeys into turn 11. And the LP driver makes the overtake. What a move from Superior Man there. He's on those fresh soft tires. I don't think Brass Monkeys made it too difficult. And he goes onto the gravel. Brass Monkeys, I have a feeling he doesn't like the attention of being on stream. So here comes Kev Slice on the tail of the Aston Martin driver. He wants to make a switchback work. That was quite funny. Quite funny, not really, but he was trying to make the overtake around the outside, and he backed out of it again. So he's hopefully, I think he's waiting for that DRS down the second straight. And El Shakel is caught up, so we've got a 3-way battle for P2 at the moment. None of the top 4 have a penalty at this point during the race. Superman having an incident, not really an incident, but a battle with Richie, as I think Superior Man made the overtake. Now his next target is going to be AP. As AP, I think he has a lot of penalties already. Look at that, 9 seconds, but also Superior Man with 6 seconds. Kev the Slice made the overtake on Tonhinga, as we're currently looking at Superior Man. He's trying to go around the outside. AP leaving enough space for the Alpine driver to try and get past. There goes the Alpine driver in the wall, and he resets back to track. Wait, what's happening here? Wait, hold up. That he was just glitching all over the place. AP goes onto the gravel. And I think Angie Hamid is right on his tail. He makes the overtake already. Down the inside he goes. Milo Bello in P11. So might want to focus back to Tonhinga, who got overtaken by 2 people at the same time. Not really at the same time. As you can see, Kev the Slice already made up a gap of about 1.5 seconds at the moment. But Tonhinga 5/10 behind El Shakel. And I think Jay Dennis is caught up to the group. Jay Dennis, who came all the way from P20. If I'm not mistaken, let me have a quick look with the position changes. Yes, indeed, he did. But he does have those 12-second time penalties. So he's possibly going to lose a lot of positions. I'll not 1 to Starry, because he's got 12 seconds too. 1 to Superior Man. I think Superior has 6 seconds of penalties. That's quite close. He'll be able to get that position. Might get a penalty, might lose a position to Ange Hamid, might lose one to Richie, as these guys are having a heated battle too. At the moment, a 3-way battle for P5, possibly. Depends on whether they can keep the toe of Starry and Jay Dennis, keep it within those 12 seconds. I don't think that should be a problem for 4 more laps during this Australian Grand Prix. We've had a very chaotic Australian Grand Prix, I do have to say that. But we are looking at a lovely end of this race. 4 more laps to go after this one, as Jay Dennis has caught up to Tonhinga and El Shakel. El Shakel definitely losing the pace here. I'm just going to have a quick look with the tires, as we are looking at both the soft tire runners. It looks like Kev the Slice is not able to keep up with Ali House. And there's one good explanation for that. Those medium tires will be faster during this point during the race. You know, 8-lap-old mediums are going to be way faster than 8-lap-old softs, simply because the softs don't last for that long. Well, they last for that long, but they are not really that fast anymore compared to the medium tires. So I do understand why some guys went onto the soft tires at the beginning of the race. And Anki Hamid trying to make a switchback work. Is going to make it work. Has the inside line, but is going to go back on the outside line. Has the DRS through this part of the track into turn 3. And he makes the overtake on the Alpine driver. Here comes Superior Man defending that quite nicely. Olawood Richie is just looking at that battle like it's nothing. And Anki Hamid getting overtaken from behind, possibly by Richie. Richie trying to find his way around the AlphaTauri driver, but it's not an opportunity yet for Richie. He's got to patiently wait. Having a look at the position changes, Anki Hamid gaining 11 positions. He qualified in P19. And he's currently in P8, so great race from the Italian driver. I think he's Italian, if I'm not mistaken. Here comes Richie, around that fast left-right-hander. He's not going to make the overtake, but he has that DRS once again. Anki Hamid also has the DRS, though. But I think Anki Hamid doesn't have any ERS left. And Superior Man is making things easy for Anki Hamid here, because with that DRS, Anki Hamid won't be affected from that DRS that he's given to the Williams driver right behind him. Just going to focus on Jay Dennis, who's going to go down the inside of Tonhinga. Beautifully done by the Mercedes driver. And Tonhinga seems to be struggling even more on those hard tires at the moment. Let's have a quick look at the back of the grid. That's going to be Ishii in P14 as he slides all over the place in Sector 3. Kev the Slice with a 3-second time penalty. With a 3-second time penalty, El Shakel might be able to get a P2 anyways. What a race from the Williams driver. He qualified in P3, is possibly going to get a P2 if he can just keep it within 3 seconds of Kev the Slice here. And then, of course, we've got Tonhinga gaining a position from Jay Dennis. But I think Jay Dennis is actually doing a great job. I'm just going to calculate the penalties real quick. So, as you can see, Superior Man has 6 seconds. But Jay Dennis is more than 6 seconds in front of Superior Man because he's got 12-second time penalty. Starry is going to drop possibly 3 or 4 positions. Not one to Superior Man. Superior Man, I think he's the one losing the most positions at the moment due to his penalties. He's going to drop all the way from P7 to P10 if Milo Bello keeps his pace where it is right now, of course. And Anki Hamid is still behind Superior Man, but the thing I'm thinking of is, will he be making the overtake and trying to get back to Starry? I hope so. Oh, well, as things are looking like right now, Superior Man will gain a position from that 12-second time penalty of Starry. So I think Starry might have a broken front wing or anything like that. Let's have a quick look with the tires. Tire-wise, Starry is on 9-lap-old softs, so they will be a little bit slower than the 7-lap-old softs of Superior Man and Anki Hamid. Here comes Superior Man defending the inside line. Anki Hamid tried to go for it, but it didn't make it work. And now Richie tries to make the overtake. Beautifully done by Richie there. I think Anki Hamid went too fast onto the brakes. Now he's trying to go for it again as the inside line. This is not the right corner to do that kind of moves, but they make it work anyways. Anki Hamid down the inside. What a move from the Italian driver. And now you're just losing time to Superior Man. 1.6 seconds already. Here comes the Williams driver right the outside. He will have the DRS and he will get that position from the Italian driver. Beautifully done by Richie. Just patiently waiting till he's got that DRS. Anki Hamid with a good exit coming through that fast left-right-hander. Might be able to make that overtake with the use of DRS. Oh no, it's Richie having that DRS. How does that happen? Do they carry over the DRS from that second sector? That's quite funny. Never saw that before. El Shakel now on the tail of the Mercedes driver. Olawu Richie with a 3-second time penalty. And Shakel. Oh, it looks like Dennis doesn't have any ERS left. How much does El Shakel have? He's still got plenty enough to use, and he's using it right now, heading into the last lap of the race. And El Shakel wants to catch up to Kev the Slice. There's a 3-second gap between the both of them. He needs to be within those 3 seconds to be able to catch P2. And it does look like he's pushing as much as he can. Also, Jay Dennis making it difficult for El Shakel, though El Shakel has to go down the inside every now and then. And I think Jay Dennis is definitely helping Kev the Slice here. So I don't think we will be seeing a move anytime soon from those guys. But Anki Hamid, Oh, and Milo Bello gets a 3-second time penalty, so it's only Ange Hamid who's going to gain a lot of positions from having no penalties. And the guys who've had no penalties will also receive 1 extra point for having no penalties. So Al Shakal cannot do what has been expected from him, get within those 3-second time penalties. He's not been able to do that, so it will be Kev the Slice running away with P2. And we've got our deserved winner, Ali House, sliding all over the place, and he's weaving a little bit. And that's actually very dangerous, because if he would get a 5-second time penalty, he would lose no positions. But if he would get a 10-second time penalty, he would. Let's have a quick look. Tonhinga gained a position due to the penalties of Jay Dennis. Where will Ange Hamid end up in? With no penalties, basically. Possibly in front of Starry. No, he will bump up to P6. Beautifully done. There's still a lot of room to work with. Starry dropped back to P9. At the back of the grid, we've got Brass Monkeys and Redoubts. And then we've got Ishii, who has already finished. He got lapped. Both the Haas drivers not doing a bad job, but I think the biggest point scorers of today we're gonna be the Williams team. El Shakal in P3, we've got Richie in P8. A good job by both of them. And I think that's the only team who's got 2 drivers in the top 10. Maybe the AlphaTauri team, no. McLaren, no. Oh, that's quite funny. That's quite funny. So Starry will most likely be protesting 1 or 2 penalties, is what he says in the chat. The chance of getting them removed is quite small. Ange Hamid is your driver of the day from the game. I'm not sure if that's my driver of the game. Jensen Dennis got a P5 apparently. So he had a great comeback race. He got straight line by Itchy. He got crashed during qualifying by Mr. Super D. He's just had a very unlucky race, but he made the best out of it. Fastest lap goes to Ali House, who got a P12. So full points to the Red Bull driver. And I'm just going to remove my camera here real quick. Let me have a quick look. There we go. So Ali House in P1. We've got Kev the Slice, who came from P5 after a disappointing qualifying in P5. He's currently in P2. El Shakal stayed in P3. We've got Tonhinga dropping 2 positions down into P4. And we've got Jay Dennis with a good comeback race. In my opinion, he's my driver of the day. He did have 12 seconds of time penalties, but he managed to get into the top 5 anyway. Ange Hamid in P6, Superior Man in P7, Olua Richie in P8, Starry in P9, possibly gaining another couple of positions. Because if you would get 2 or 3 seconds removed, I mean 1 or 2 penalties removed, he would either get P6 or P5. Then going at the back of the grid, we've got Milo Bello, AP, Brass Monkeys, Redoubts, and Ishii. Then we've got our DNFs, Nico John, Super D, Jesper van Gol, the Cable Monkeys, Jordan, and Oranje Boom Brown, all the way at the back of the grid. Guys, this was going to be the Australian Grand Prix. We've had a very chaotic Grand Prix, I do have to say that, but it's been great. It was a lovely Grand Prix. We had a lot of safety cars though, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. We managed to finish off this Grand Prix within 1 hour and 20 minutes, so that's always a lovely thing, I would say, as a commentator, but probably you guys too. And I hope you guys liked the stream. I hope you guys liked the commentary. Make sure to give a thumbs up if you like the commentary. That gives me a good feeling if you guys could give a thumbs up. But yeah, also subscribe to DER if you haven't already, the YouTube channel. They've been doing some great stuff, trying to get commentators, trying to get stewards, trying to make these races possible for everyone. No matter what kind of pace you have, you've got, Ali House all the way in P1, but then you've got the guys at the back who also have an opportunity to race with the slower drivers. So that's lovely to see from DER, and I really would thank them for having me as their commentator. Guys, I'm going to finish off the stream here. My name is Phoebe Thomas. Make sure to check out my socials too, as you can see at the bottom of my screen here. My apologies for the bad camera, but that's going to be it from now on, because, my camera glitches when I use my normal camera. So my apologies. It's still, it's bad quality, but I guess it is what it is. Guys, thank you very much for watching the live stream. My name is Phoebe Thomas, and I will see you guys possibly next week. Peace out.
With a broken heart hard to me if I deserve this feeling. I thought that you know that we had something special till you end up all this way. Please tell me when you left me bleeding. With a broken heart, tell me why I deserve this feeling. I thought that you loved me, I thought that you need me till you end up all this way. Have you forgot all the moments while we had was so true? This one was made for two. I did it all.